Hey guys, this is Lukadowski of WeAreChange.org outside of the Trump Tower on the day of impeachment. Now, we've heard a lot of screaming from alt-right personalities that this was going to be a crazy, chaotic, anarchistic day with Antifa taking over the street. But being here on the ground, it's quite the contrary. And I think, as you see the situation unfolding in front of me, we have about 5 to 10 Trump supporters, about 40 to 50 anti-Trump supporters, if I could say that honestly. And I think it'll be interesting in this video to actually talk to these individuals about their mutual kind of hypocrisy, about seeing why these people want to impeach Trump and why these people want to get Trump in power for the next 8 years. So it'll be very interesting to open up a discourse during this live stream and actually talk to the individuals here, because as you can see, not much is happening except for people rallying and talking to each other. But I'm going to talk to these individuals here on the Trump side and question their logic, and then go over here and question the counter-protesters' logic to get an understanding of why people actually want to impeach Trump, if they want to impeach Trump for the right reasons or for the reasons that the media manipulated them. I also want to bring up on this side some of the contradictions with Donald Trump. So as you can see, this is the anti-Trump side, just chanting, hey, hey, go home. Donald Trump has got to go. A lot of people here with signs saying abuse of power and conflict of interest are impeachable. This guy has a Patriot Cummings sign for some reason. I don't understand it. A lot of pink vagina hats on as well here. The World Can't Wait is over here as well. There's a dude over there with a Polish flag. So yeah, we're just gonna walk around and talk to some of these individuals, see what's going on, and engage in some conversations to see if they have actual legitimate reasons to try to impeach Trump. A lot of vagina hats. The Trump pen. Sorry, got a phone call. If you know I'm going live, please don't call me. Let's talk to some of these individuals here. This guy looks interesting here. I gotta see this guy's mask.
What a waste of life and energy and time and the girls and boys.
Make America literate again. Alright, let's do some interviews here. Which side should I go to first? The Trump side or the anti-Trump side? We got this guy out here. He has Trump in his pants. A lot of resist signs here as well. Alright, let's go after the pro-Trumpers first. They're in power. They have their president in charge of the country. It'll be interesting to talk to them first. Uh-oh. Looks like some MAGA people here are with helmets and vests on and shields. There's about 4 of them. Sorry there. What are those dudes doing? One guy has a pillow on his shield. I don't know why he has a pillow on his shield, but he has a. I love the LARPing that happens during these rallies. All right, let's go talk to some Trumpers. All right, let's do this, guys. Hey, are you guys doing interviews?
It's been French.
Are you doing interviews by any chance?
No, not really.
Okay.
Where are you from?
We Are Change, independent media.
Which one?
We Are Change. We're just asking why people are out here, why they support Trump.
It's the sun.
Huh?
I'm out for the sun.
You're getting a lot of it.
Yeah, no, I could be at the beach, but this is fine.
Okay. Are you doing interviews by any chance?
Where are you from?
We Are Change.
Okay, we are changed. Sounds good to me,
Yeah.
because we're definitely going through a changing period now. I'm Red Pill Ken on Twitter.
Nice.
Nice to meet you.
Why are you out here supporting Trump?
Because attack on Trump is attack on Americana and our democracy, and it's all about red, white, and blue, regardless of what background you're from. If you're Americana, there's nothing wrong with being America first. And the other side, they lost this debate in November when we elected Donald Trump, and they seem to be on a pattern of trying to disrupt this man who we put in office, and I'm out here just to support, to give Mr. Trump my support, and also to let people know that most mainstream media is fake. It's like CNN. That's why I have this t-shirt here. The CNN shirt. You know what Kathy Gifford did. They're fake news. And you have to go to different websites like InfoWars, Drudge Report, and Breitbart to get your news, an alternative point of view.
Are there any policies of Donald Trump that you're disappointed in?
I'm disappointed in that he has not repealed the health care, the Unaffordable Care Act, and I'm also upset because of the strike, the limited strike that he had in Syria, which wasn't Mr. Assad's fault. It was an inside job when he bombed Syria.
Yeah.
I wasn't in support of that at all.
I was going to ask you, how do Trump supporters feel about him officially aligning with anarchist communist Kurds, which they self-describe themselves as, inside of Syria, aligning with known communists, the Kurds, to fight the Syrian government?
See, this is a mistake that Mr. Trump makes.
Okay.
He likes to take and give people the responsibility to take over the jobs. We do. McMaster has a different viewpoint than Trump, and Mr. President has to get rid of McMaster because he's a globalist who wants to put boots on the ground, and that's his mindset. It's the people that he's putting into certain positions who are responsible, though Trump will be responsible in the tail end. So what I'm asking Mr. President to do,
that's very optimistic
is to get rid of McMaster.
Okay.
That's what I would like the president
Well, it's
to do.
good to see that you're critical of him on some changes.
Yes, I am. On a lot, yes.
On some changes.
Yes, and I'll be the first one to step in line to call our president out when I think he's crossed the line.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm Red Pill Ken on Twitter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Thanks for the conversation. Appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
All right. That guy looks somewhat woke. Let's go talk to some anti-Trump people now and see why they want to impeach him. Okay, we're going to have to go in a place where they're not chanting. This is going to be a little bit difficult. I think over here. This guy looks interesting. Are you doing interviews, sir?
Oh, heaps, yes.
Well, I'm looking to ask you if we are changed.
Oh, man, oh, absolutely. Here we go.
Can I ask you?
Many times.
Can I ask you why you're here today?
Oh, for every obvious reason. They always start off with that question. That's the silliest question in the world, why I'm here. You know why I'm here?
Why?
There's 193 countries on the planet. This is the worst one.
Why is this the worst country?
Oh, here we go. Which country causes more destruction to the planet and to America than the United States of America?
Well, if you look at pollution, it is the U.S. military that produces more pollution than any other
What about
country.
the metal monster cars?
What would you say is your biggest problem with Donald Trump? If there's one issue that you felt important about to express against Donald Trump, what would that issue be?
Actually, it's not so much against. It's sort of sympathetic. The man has an extreme medical problem.
Which is?
Which is every indication that he's addicted to cocaine, and it's making him wild and mad. And he's not responsible.
All right.
Right. That makes you say, yeah, there's every indication, aside from the meat and the alcohol, that he's a cocaine addict. If he is a cocaine addict, it's an excellent excuse for him to get off, because he's out of control. He doesn't know what he's doing. What else explains his behavior?
All right. Thank you.
That's the whole interview.
Thank you.
That one blew you out already.
Yes, yeah, it totally blew me out of my mind. All right, guys, so maybe that wasn't the fairest representation. I just go up to the first person that looks like they're willing to talk by themselves. Hello, are you doing interviews by any chance? Awesome. I'm Luke Radowski of We Are Change, and I'd just like to ask you why you're here today.
Because if you don't want to, then you have to say something. Because if you don't express anything, it's nothing in there, right? So you have to express something.
Understood. Thank you. Are you doing interviews by any chance? Are you doing interviews by any chance? Oh, that's okay. I understand. I won't film you if you don't want to be filmed. Thank you. Are you doing interviews by any chance? No problem. All right. The language barrier was apparent there, so we can't really get into the cohesive aspect. Again, not much is happening here. Let's talk to some other people.
No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice!
Again, from some of the right-wingers that said this is going to be a huge day, violent day, they definitely got it wrong. There's very few people here. I'm going to go talk to more people to try to get a coherent answer to why they want to impeach Trump. Sorry, you're doing interviews by any chance? Awesome, thank you. Well, I'm Luke Radowski of We Are Change, and I'd just like to know why you're out here.
I'm out here because Donald Trump is a threat to this country and the world.
What do you think is the biggest issue you have against Donald Trump that he should be impeached for?
I think he colluded with Vladimir Putin to become president, and he is an mentally unstable narcissist who is incompetent and has no qualifications to be president. I do not believe he won the election fairly.
When you look at Trump's foreign policy, though, he looks very aggressive towards Russia, especially in Syria. Does it worry you, the moves he's making with Saudi Arabia and Israel against Syria and Russia?
Well, it would take a much longer time than we have here for me to explain what I think Trump is doing. But in short, yes, I'm very unnerved at what he's doing in foreign policy.
But the main reason is his collusion with Russia that you feel concerned about.
Not just Russia, but also he's been selling us out to China, which he's been selling us out to China. He has been selling us out to the Saudis.
Yep.
He's basically conducting foreign policy for hire.
Okay, I think that's a very valid point. He said China was a currency manipulator, then he said China's not a currency manipulator. Yes. He is in bed with the Saudis.
And his son-in-law's company was basically selling EB-5 visas to rich Chinese people. At the same time, he's deporting undocumented working people. He's selling immigration access to the rich.
Yeah, that's true. But just a fair question, he's also colluding with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia donated $100 million to his daughter after a major weapons deal.
That's true.
Do you believe the Russian collusion with Putin is really a legitimate reason to impeach him, though?
I think after Robert Mueller releases his report with all the evidence, there will be enough to initiate something.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate your comments and your feedback. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. So again, we have more of the Russian collusion kind of conversation. Let's go back to the Trump side and see if they're willing to stand behind him no matter what, or call him out for some of the mistakes he made as President of the United States. So I want to go back and forth here between the pro and anti-Trump supporters, have an honest conversation with them, and then go back and forth. We got a Polish flag out here. Thank you so much for the super chats. I'll keep up the great Kofefi.
I completely disagree with it.
Are you guys doing interviews? I'm so sorry.
No, we're just talking right now.
Awesome. Well, I'm Luke from We Are Change. I'm also Polish, so I see the Polish flag out there.
Nice to meet you.
Dziękuję bardzo.
I'm not good with the language.
You don't speak Polish?
I'm sorry.
Nie mówisz po polsku, ale masz polską flagę. No co tutaj jest?
I am sorry, but I'm still here because I am proud of the country that my family came from.
Awesome. Well, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, why did you came out here to support Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, I voted for him, obviously, but you know, regarding today, there were reports that there were supposed to be riots within these protests, and basically when the riots come, it's basically going to be the group of Antifa, who are basically the communist kids trying to destroy everything. So when I heard that they were supposed to riot and cause damage to cities across the country, I'm not having that. Yeah. So even though I disagree with these people, I disagree with Antifa a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I don't support those kids. I've debated them at the Boston Free Speech Rally, and they have their chance, but they don't want to listen to anybody. Even if you mildly disagree with them, you are 100% against them.
Yeah, and I would say I kind of heard the same thing, that there's going to be this huge clash, this huge rally. Antifa was going to take over the street. I know Paul Watson made a very kind of fear-mongering video.
I was kind of hesitant. When I made a video, I'm like, there might be riots, but I'm just going to see what happens, feel it out, because I'm documenting the event as well. So.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, if Antifa shows up, we're prepared for the worst, but hoping for the best.
Awesome.
So.
And if I could ask you a fair question, are there any policies of Trump that you feel disappointed in?
At the moment, not really. I really do hope that Republicans do take care of healthcare, though. That has been a severe problem for this country, and you see the effects of it on a lot of people. You know, the conservatives had, what, 7, 8 years at this point to try to come up with something to replace Obamacare or just repeal it completely. And now they're at conflict and can't come up with something. It's like, you guys had all this time. See, basically, I lean conservative, but I don't like go hardcore conservative. But yeah.
Are you by any chance worried about him aligning himself officially with a group who calls themselves anarchist and communist inside of Syria, the Kurds, in order to fight the Syrian government? Because officially he has aligned himself with a very left-leaning organization in Syria to fight off the Syrian government, to push for more balkanization and regime change.
Yeah, I don't. That is the one thing. See, that wasn't a policy of his, but that was an action of his I did not really agree with when he attacked Assad because of the chemical attack. There's been conflict about what happened there, like with an official report, but you know, I wasn't in support of that. We've seen the pattern of taking down countries like these and taking down their leaders, and the implement for that, or the substitution, is going to be ISIS, and that defeats the purpose of us trying to fight them. You know, so I understand how Putin is like aligning with Assad to keep, you know, the greater evil out.
Okay.
You know, so when he attacked Syria, I wasn't on board with that. But when everybody was calling for World War III and saying we're gonna go to nuclear war, I was like, guys, calm down, take a breather. It's probably not gonna happen. It's probably just a one-off shot, and that'll probably be it. But no, I do not agree with the Syria incident. I really don't want to be involved with everybody's problems. That's why I voted for him. I was hoping that maybe we could kind of just focus on ourselves and kind of fix us from within.
Sadly, it wasn't a one-time thing with the airbase, since he just bombed the Syrian airplane that was bombing ISIS. And at the same time, he's giving support to rebels.
Was that his call, though? I heard it was McMaster that made that call. I don't...
He's sending letters from the White House. I know a lot of people like to shift blame on McMaster, but he's the one who put in McMaster. He's the one allowing McMaster in there.
Fair point,
and McMaster is hungry for war with Russia. Flynn wasn't. Flynn was kicked out, I think unfairly on some levels, in the way he handled it. And now he has a very pro-war guy that I think he should handle. But the memo that they just released a couple days ago saying we're going to strike Syria again if they use chemical weapons is pretty much a strategy for ISIS or any radical Islamic group to use chemical weapons and then blame it on them.
And I completely disagree with that. I really hope, God, I hope Trump doesn't do some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, but that memo came from the White House themselves, from Donald Trump himself, not H.R. McMaster, not the National Security Advisor. So I thank you for being aware of those situations. I think it's very important.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like I said, I didn't want all this conflict with everybody. I'm sick of it.
Okay.
I'm sick of it. We put all this money and all of our people over to all these countries to fix all their problems. At the same time, we got enough of our own problems here. You know, we're at a divided time right now. We need to work on ourselves. We have been like focusing on everybody else, and we need to come back and like take care of ourselves.
Awesome.
You know, it might sound selfish, but I think we're at that point in time where that needs to happen.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, thank you. I appreciate it.
Luke Radowski, We Are Change.
Thank you.
Let's say Polish forever. You guys want to be on video? Mówicie po polsku? Super. Łukasz. Kamil. I'm from We Are Change. Luke, We Are Change. I'm just interviewing people here. I don't know if you guys want to be interviewed on camera.
I just want to be careful, just so you know, Trump supporters apparently throw stuff at them. So they're very hard.
Guys.
No,
I'm sorry, Trump protesters.
Wait, they were throwing stuff at you guys?
Well, back at
no, they're just very prepared because they know how violent
Yeah, you guys are definitely ready.
You know?
I don't know if you've exactly seen Berkeley, but
were they throwing stuff at you guys?
back at Foley Square, I know somebody threw something at Lawrence Southern. There's a video of her getting, like, what was it, acid or some shit? Piss. Piss. Oh, piss.
Yes.
Great. Oh, and look, speaking of which, yeah, and here she is.
I was curious if you guys are critical of Donald Trump in any way or disappointed in him.
We're just here to protect America, really, and protect freedom of speech. He won fair and square. These people want to completely change it and to make it into sort of like a hybrid of communism and fascism by instilling their own and yet collectivizing everything, you know? It's ridiculous, so...
Were you guys expecting like a riot to happen, or?
We weren't expecting a riot. This is just kind of a way to protect against potential threats.
Okay.
You know? Because back at Berkeley, I don't know if you remember, but Berkeley...
I was there.
You were?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you saw a lot of shit.
Well, I was the one who got the Goldilocks footage.
Oh, shit.
And I was there with this one over here when we both had piss thrown on us.
Crap. man.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go talk to those guys over there. Feeling her place, working.
That's not ladylike. That's not ladylike. That's not ladylike. Let's go. Let's go.
A little commotion.
Don't be a pretender. It's only two agendas. Coming out this I love women. Thank you. God bless you.
Are you doing any interviews by any chance? That's a response. We got some costumes here.
I do. I have to get away from there because
That's okay. No, I understand.
I can't control myself.
It's only words. Don't let it bother you.
We need to be able to control ourselves because you cannot win against ignorance. That's why we have the army of comedy.
Army of comedy against Trump.
Michael Moore was the one that inspired all of us, right?
Awesome.
So let's do that. Let's dress up. Let's make a mockery of this mockery. This is what we need to do, guys. Aggression is not the answer ever.
You're with Vladimir Putin, right?
Oh yeah.
Where's Vladimir?
He's on the other side somewhere.
Awesome.
I'm not really
You didn't
this.
see him? He's great.
I know. It's like the most realistic mask I've seen.
Vladimir Putin. He is with Vladimir Putin. I'm very much not with Vladimir Putin. I think America should be America again. That's what made us great.
Do you guys think the Russian ties are the main reason for impeachment? What do you guys think?
I think the Russian ties got to make us think about impeachment. But what we need to also think about, we have eliminated freedom of press by selective lying about truth. Think about that. We're discrediting people by race and by religion. The last time that happened was under Adolf Hitler. And whether you tweet or you give everybody a free radio, what Hitler did, is the same thing. Everything is a false truth to discredit people that say the truth. That is enough reason for me to have him impeached.
Is there one action or one policy he did that you think is impeachable?
No,
God, there's
many.
So many.
Which one is the most important one to you?
The most recent one is his tirade on Twitter against Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski.
Mm-hmm.
He has been stalking them.
Really,
he has threatened them. He has harassed them, and he has tried to extort them by threatening them with publishing bad news on them in the National Enquirer. Come on, if you or I did that, we'd be locked up for stalking.
So do you think the tweets are the most important aspect of having him impeached?
Well, I would say that there's a lot of evidence of his crimes in his tweets. The tweeting itself is not a crime, but there's your evidence. It's right there.
A lot of people on the right make the argument that
No, we're not.
a lot of
Very much not. We are just
a lot of people on the right make the argument that the media has been attacking him unfairly on some instances, and that's why he's answering back and fighting them back. Whether inappropriate or appropriate, what do you think of that argument? And do you think some of his foreign policy moves should be more relevant than just his tweets?
Well, I never like to bring up Obama because that's what they do. But the truth is, no president's ever been more harassed or abused by media in general, and I don't mean mainstream media, than Barack Obama. And how did he take it? Like a man. Okay? This guy is like not even a 12-year-old boy who needs to wear diapers and, you know, he's sick. He needs a pacifier shoved right into that cock holster so he'll shut the hell up.
If I could ask one more question, what do you think of Trump's foreign policy?
What foreign policy? To collude with our enemies and disrespect our allies? That's a foreign policy?
Collude? You say collude with Russia?
Yes.
If you look at the foreign policy he's been making inside of Syria, it's been very against Russia, especially when it comes to the strong aggressive moves attacking Russia's greatest ally, Syria and Iran.
I feel like that is just a distraction. He's looking to start a war. He's a psycho with the nuclear codes in his pocket, and it's very, very dangerous.
Who do you think the war would be between?
Probably North Korea.
Okay.
And us.
Yeah. But honestly speaking, from a fair perspective, if you look at Trump's policy, foreign policy, it's been very aggressive against Russia. Russia is not very happy. Donald Trump has directly attacked allies and contradicted Russia's policy towards defeating ISIS by supporting the rebel groups inside of Syria. He's even aligned himself with a major rebel group.
You're listening to, but
okay.
I listen to the mainstream news, MSNBC, CNN.
Do you think they're honest? Do you think the mainstream media is honest?
Yes, I do, actually.
Okay.
And they shouldn't be, and him calling them fake news is a complete lie.
Okay. But it was the same mainstream media that told us that there was weapons of mass destructions in Iraq.
Well, they were fed that information from the Bush administration, as was Hillary Clinton, who believed it too at the time.
Yeah.
So yes, the mainstream media often repeats the news it's fed.
Yeah, and they lied a lot of times.
They didn't lie. When you repeat something that's given to you as truth from a reliable source such as United States Intel, you're not lying when you repeat it. It's the U.S. Intel that's the lie.
Okay. But they've been proven wrong sometimes. But, all right. We may disagree a bit, but I respect your opinion. Thank you for sharing it with us. Appreciate that.
Where are you from?
We Are Change. It's an independent media outlet. We Are Change.
We Are Change.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be on that. Huh?
You're on it right now. We're live.
Some batshit crazy website.
No, we're just talking about actual things that happen with sources and facts, and I strongly recommend you check that out because I believe the mainstream media is not truthful, and I think there's grounds to hold Trump accountable.
Fuck you for voting for him.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right. Yeah. Not much logic there. Honestly, I can't believe people who still believe the mainstream media. Honestly, I can't believe people who, at the same time, believe in this Russian diversion collusion, because to me it's all a big distraction. And if you really look at Trump's foreign policies, he's been very aggressive and causing a major conflict inside of Syria that will only create more radical Islamic terrorism, more war, more death, more balkanization, and more destruction of all the beautiful, lovely things we have. Look at the rally here. Dude, this face is so creepy.
Thank you everybody for coming.
It's the most realistic mask I've ever seen. Holy crap. Again, more Russia collusion, which I think is a big distraction put on us by the mainstream media and deep state. And that's coming from a fair perspective because I think there are legitimate reasons to criticize Donald Trump, but the Russian does not make any sense to me. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm only getting this information from the research I've been doing for a very long time now, especially looking at bigger foreign policy initiatives and moves that have been continued by Donald Trump, that have been done by George W. Bush and by Barack Obama. You see the same foreign policy moves, the same executive decisions, you see the same troop movements, you see the same agenda that benefit the very few carried out by president after president after president. Sadly, these people are not aware of that on the anti-Trump side. It looks like some of the people on the pro-Trump side are aware of that, are critical, but they're also very optimistic and very hopeful, which I think is a fault with people shooting themselves in the foot. Because when you give someone the benefit of the doubt, especially when they have the full power to start a war, you're doing a great disservice, at least in my opinion, and I think these conversations need to happen more to understand each other's side. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. I just set up new tiers on my Patreon, new hippie levels. I have super crystal hippie, Zen, meditative hippie levels of ways that you could contribute and participate in this independent news organization just by going to patreon.com/wearechange. Now I know I probably should have, I forgot even to share this video on my Facebook and Twitter. I'm so sorry, I've just been caught up in the moment here, trying to talk to everyone, trying to give you a fair perspective, trying to talk to both sides and see what they think on the more important issues that I see, and that's of course is the foreign policy that has been pushed forward and carried out by Donald Trump. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. Love you guys very much. Check out patreon.com/wearechange and stay tuned for more live coverage of news that happens on the ground here in New York City. We're going to Hamburg for G20. We're going to be down there. People are saying it's going to get crazy, but you never know. They said this was going to go crazy. They said this was going to lead up in the riots. They said this was going to lead up in Antifa taking over the entire United States. People were fear-mongering on the right that this was going to be some big hoopla. And as we see from what happened here, that is completely untrue. People peacefully came here. Some were a little bit belligerent, some cursed, but mostly people were peaceful and just chanting outside of the Trump Hotel here on Columbus Circle in New York City. Love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching from the bottom of my heart, participating in independent media, being a Patreon, being a part of real, independent, unfiltered news coming here your way on youtube.com/wearechange. Love you.